When the feds refuse to take cases, Sheriff Villanueva has no option but to rely on George Gascon's office. That means no matter what he does, the law will not be enforced.
When he says he's not going to prosecute petty theft, he's legalizing theft. When he says he's not going to prosecute prostitution, he's legalizing prostitution. When he says he's not going to enforce mandatory registration for sex offenders, well, now that Chester the molester can park himself in front of a grade school, whereas previously he was banned from doing that.
So you could have a sex offender living in a tent, smoking meth on the sidewalk next to a school.
Oh, that's happening right now. In Venice, there's one person who has an RV, lives there, smokes meth 24/7 right in front of the grade school, to the point that the grade school had to install a hard plastic covering, blue tarp, all around the schoolyard to shield the kids from the homeless RV. And that is just a scary thought right there.
For coming on.
Oh, thank you.
So I know everything's complicated. This is a complicated place. But I don't think it's complicated to say the actions of one prosecutor really have changed life here.
Definitely. In his first year in office, 2021, his first full year, he rejected over 12,200 cases from my agency alone. And multiply that by 2, and that's all the other local police departments in the LAPD. So his efforts is really almost nullifying the legislative intent in Sacramento, where misdemeanor crimes are seldom prosecuted. If he believes it's attached to homelessness or drug abuse, they're not going to touch him. So obviously, that's fostering a climate where homelessness, drug abuse is just spiraling out of control, and you're seeing it with your own eyes.
Well, you certainly are. And, if you love LA, anyone who's spent a lot of time in LA, there's so much to love. It really is a great city. And it's gotten worse, and there's kind of no arguing that. He's the prosecutor, you're the sheriff. There should be a relationship between the two of you. Have you brought this to his attention? Can you talk to him?
Well, I've had one conversation with him. That was his first week in office, where we had an issue of mutual concern on one particular case. But his predecessor, we met every 3 months. I met her in her office. She met me in my office.
Yes.
We shared concerns. Exactly what you're saying we did. Well, this gentleman, unless you come from the public defender's office, you were a Black Lives Matter activist, those are about the only people he's speaking to. Everyone else just doesn't exist in his world.
Just one question, since you live here and run a big agency here, is there huge public support for his policies, do you think?
No, not at all. I'm seeing a lot of support from victims. Victims matter.
Yes.
They should be at the forefront of everything all of the criminal justice system is supposed to do. Now it's all offender specific or offender centric. Everything is about reducing harm, not to victims of crime, reducing harm of incarceration for those who commit crime. And that is an astonishing leap of logic that not just George Gascon, but the Board of Supervisors has embraced the very same idea. They call it Care First, Jail Last, which has been an absolute failure here in LA County.
Man, I hope you take this place over. I really do. Use the democratic process just to restore moderate sensibility to the way it's run. I really hope that. Sheriff, thank you.